here's the deal. I just wanted to do a follow-up question about your timeshare.
Okay.
Did you buy one?
No, I did not.
Are you taking the next step to buy one?
Not currently.
Yeah, and I apologize. I might have been a little harsh on you the last time. I got some grief in the office. But there's people in this office that are watching our videos and learning from them.
Good.
And I tell you what, you know what Allie and Jackie said?
No.
You'd be a moron for buying a timeshare. Like one of them, their parents have one or their family members have one, and it's at the beach, and the place is crummy that they go to. Mm-hmm. And anytime they want to go to it, it's booked. And anytime they do get into it, guess what? It's packed like crazy. Like they're packing them in like sardines at this place. Mm-hmm. And on top of that, they get points every year from the $1,500 or whatever they put in yearly. But the prices have gone up, so they can't go as much as they wanted to go because the points have gotten crazy. What they have to keep paying to get their use of their timeshare. So I think there's a lot more hidden things. I think I'm right on this.
It probably is, and you probably are right. So I didn't do it, but the idea of it was entertaining.
The thought of it. I mean, if you could go to Hawaii and all these places with 24-hour notice year round and go use it for 30 days out of the year, that's how they get you in there. But it does not work that way. So I hope you understood.
No, I get it. I mean, there's definitely pros and cons, and
there's just cons.
I think it just depends on you as the person and your lifestyle, because I know people that love it and that use it and think that it's great. But I also know people that it's like this is horrible.
I would say 70% of people that have them want rid of them.
Okay.
So let's put it out there. People, if you have a timeshare, do you want to keep it or do you want to sell it? If you had your choice right now, what would you do?
Okay, I'm just looking at it from the travel aspect because that's super important to me. I want to travel, and I decided I reevaluated some things and my life goals, and I already set out my plan for 2025 and things that I want to do for 2025 and things that I want to do for 2026. And I decided that one thing that is very important to me is taking one big trip every year. So I mapped everything out. It's also important for me to see all 50 states in the United States, and I figured out that I only have 11 that I have not seen. And there's like 9 states that I have been to, but I feel like I haven't explored them enough. So they're still on my list of I want to go back.
So what big trip are you going on, and how long will it be?
So my goal, what I want to start saving for, is to go to South America and hit Brazil, Argentina, and Peru.
For how long?
Like 10 days.
Okay. We are shortening vacation days for next year, by the way.
Why?
Because Meg's going to start vacationing. I'm kidding. The cool thing is you won't stop texting, because you never stop texting. It doesn't matter if I'm sitting here trying to talk to you. It's like a nightmare to get your attention.
That's not true.
You were on that phone 24/7. And the only reason, up until we started filming, I couldn't even chit-chat with you about this video.
Because I have things to run. I have things to manage. I need to be available to answer those questions.
I know, but I need a little bit of your attention for once.
You do.
It's so hard.
You have my attention.
It is so hard to get it. Please, Meg.
Okay.
Just, when I'm with you for 2 minutes, just give me some attention. That's gonna fuck with your home life too, isn't it? Isn't it? Do you think? Is that what she says?
Oh my God.
Does she say that? Huh?
Yeah, I have to give her my full undivided attention.
This is gonna be great. So I'm saying it, but not saying it. She's gonna be like, "You do that to Rob."
Well, thank you so much.
Okay, let's see the other question I had. I did have one other thing written down. Okay, so you're not gonna believe this. I have to change this story a little bit on this one, but I was at, let's call it Target. Somebody I know there works at Target. I don't know how much they make a year, but they work overtime. They work a fair amount of hours. They work at multiple stores. I'm guessing, say $20 an hour. What is that? 40 hours a week, 50 hours a year. What is that? 40 grand, 45, 50, somewhere in that range.
Before tax.
Yeah. So I don't really know what those numbers come out to, but I don't know. I had extra time. We got to be talking. She's helped me out multiple times, and I'm like, she's like you and Heather, because they see us both, and they're like, you guys have it all put together. I'm like, well, we really don't always have it as put together as we look, and it took us a long time to get here. So I started digging deeper, and she tells me she has a little bit left on her car payment, so that's not a big deal. She's in her 20s, mid-20s, maybe a little less, and $2,000 apartment.
Oh my.
$2,000 apartment, you're mid-20s, and you have not an entry-level job, a little better than entry-level job, I would say. What do you do here? Like, is this what people get themselves into? Now, she did say that, there was someone else living there for a while, but now it's just her, and it's $2,000 a month, and it's just.
And that's just rent. That doesn't include any utilities.
I don't know if any utilities are. I didn't go that deep, so. But anyway, that's what's going on. These places are popping up for rent everywhere, and people are just assuming I need a nice place to rent. I don't want to live in a $1,200 shack or a $1,200 apartment that's kind of downtown Carlisle or downtown Mechanicsburg that's just kind of got iffy situations to it. So I think some of these people will figure that they deserve it. But then once they do that, like what I tell everybody?
Strapped to it.
I tell everybody, go find someone's basement to rent for $600 a month.
Yeah. So the whole mindset is really like shifting. So like when you used to think about like, what's flex or whatever, it's big house, nice car, lots of money. But now it's like the real flex now is like freedom, time, just, do your life. So it's crazy that people are still. I understand you need a place to live, but it's crazy to me that people are still thinking like in that mindset of like, oh, I need like the best of the best.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I get wanting to have nice things. Like I want to have nice things. Everybody wants to have nice things, but you also want to have like stability and peace of mind and being able to be like, yeah, I can actually afford to go do this. Like I want to be able to, go travel. I want to do this. I don't want to be like house poor, basically.
Yeah.
And that's where we're getting to again.
And we kept talking to that person a little bit more, and she's like, yeah, I know, because I said you got to sacrifice for a while. She said, yeah, I know. If I go sacrifice for a while, it would make things all different on the other side. So they kind of know what they need to do, but are they doing it? So it comes with who you are hanging out with. Like, are your friends or your peers doing the same kinds of things that you want to do? I think that makes a big deal. But if you have people that are hanging around and doing nothing and not going anywhere, then you're probably going to keep doing what they're doing. But if you're hanging around or getting around people, like we always went to those real estate meetup groups and we got to talk to people, that kind of got us, I could have easily been at the bar drinking those days, but we were out networking with other people that wanted to buy real estate, and it allowed me to find a couple of people in real estate that allowed me to partner with them and do bigger deals. And once you do bigger deals, next thing you know, you have some money and some equity.
Yeah, and you get excited to keep going.
Yeah.
Going back to that self-motivation.
I have no problem self-motivating. I actually like being told no, or that I can't do something. Does that ever drive you?
It does. Because when somebody tells me that I can't have something that I want, it like puts a fire in me as to like, I want that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do everything in my power to get that. And I had the mindset of like, I will move mountains to get what I want.
Wow.
And that's how I've always been.
So are you putting the beach house on the back burner? It feels like a little bit that you are, which I don't, I think it's a little bit too big of a hurdle for you, Meg, to go buy a beach house. I think it's unattainable for you right now.
That's not true.
I don't think you could do it.
I could go buy it right now. I could go buy it today if I wanted to.
I don't think you can.
Why? What is preventing me from doing that?
Well, you've been talking about wanting to do it, but you haven't done it yet.
Okay, it took you, 8 years before you did yours?
Yeah, I talked about it for 8 years. Yeah. I also didn't start going on vacation until I had a child. And once that child became like 4, 5, and 6, I felt like I had to go somewhere. Oh, does that mean you're starting to think about kids too, Meg, or no?
No comment. I'm not saying anything that is going to hurt my integrity or my relationship.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I'll take that as a yes.
Okay. You can think what you want to think.
Kids are great. Want to borrow mine for a weekend?
I'm good. I will babysit them for a night so you can finally take Heather on a proper date to a nice place down in Hershey.
No.
Why?
I'm not going to Hershey. I will go to Hershey, but I won't go to where.
Okay, 1700 Steakhouse, that's in Harrisburg. That's acceptable.
Nope.
Why?
I like small places, like divey places, Mexican, little places.
No, it has to be a proper date night. I'm talking like pick her up in a nice vehicle, bring her flowers, take her to a nice expensive dinner, and like.
So how do you overcome this? So she's giving me a hard time. She's like, we don't have money to do what she wants to do, and I don't know what she wants to do, but it feels like we just buy crap for these kids all the time, like just stuff they don't need. My little kids are shopaholics.
Okay, so you've preached to me countless times, sacrifice. Every single person that comes into this office, every young person that comes into this office,
and I've done it.
I've done it.
Yeah.
So why aren't you doing it with your own kids?
Olivia's learned it. I don't know. The 5 and 6 year olds don't seem to get it yet.
Okay, but you have to instill that into them. Like, hey, I understand you want this toy right now, but 6 months from now, are you going to be playing with this toy? Probably not.
No, they're not. No.
So let's, reevaluate, and what is a better thing. You got to instill it when they're young.
I feel like Presley does once in a while say stuff like that. She's like, yeah, Dad, we didn't really need that. Like, she's starting to. Gabby's just 5. So I don't think 5 is the place to do that. Like, they have piggy banks, but they don't understand saving real well. Yeah, Olivia's great. Olivia understands. Olivia's the total too far.
But when they're going into a store, are they going to the shop and saying, like, I need this,
yes.
and throwing a tantrum because you won't be you're not willing to buy it?
Yes.
See, okay, that's what I'm talking about.
You can't shut that down every time, can you?
Why? There's a difference between like, hey, we can go to this store and I am, okay with.
We were at the store last night and they did not get anything. Olivia got her costume.
Okay.
Because we get costumes for Halloween. We wouldn't have done this like a couple years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I was too cheap. I wouldn't get a costume. Now I'm getting a costume.
Good. You should.
I'm gonna have to use it for 3 years straight, but I got a costume.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you a question about the whole kid thing because I'm generally like curious about it.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are like, okay, so I'm gonna have a kid in my early 20s, and then by the age of 40, then my kid is going to be, grown and an adult, and then they can quote unquote start living their life again.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, well, if you're, in your 20s now, why aren't you living your life now? Like, why do you have to have a kid and have that kid grown for you to feel like, oh, I can live my life now? Like, what's the why? I don't.
Well, you have to define what living your life is, right? You have to sacrifice to save money, to build equity, to build some type of income or passive income. You don't want to work forever. If you don't figure out how to make money while you sleep, you will literally work until you die.
100%.
Okay, so it's easier to work hard when you're younger, right? So when you're younger, you need to work, save, and build equity. You can have fun along the way. Lord knows you have a lot of that, don't you, Meg?
Oh, I do.
Probably too much.
I probably do have too much fun.
So you are living your life while being by not spending a lot of money. You haven't gone on a lot of vacations. You're very thrifty in everything that you do. You buy the cheapest swim trunks you can buy, by the looks of it.
Hey, these jeans, mind you, these are very flattering on me. Like, these are some good jeans.
One of my pairs of jeans yesterday, someone told me has a hole in the back of them. I'm that cheap. I need to go buy another pair of jeans.
But I guess ultimately, like, what I don't understand is, like, okay, so
there's people, okay, did you see the quote I put out there that there's 48% of Americans that make between $150,000 and $200,000 are living paycheck to paycheck?
Yeah, it's because they don't know how to budget their money. They don't know how to.
So they're living their life, right? They're living it to the fullest, so to speak. That's what someone would say. Someone that has that money and spending money, well, I'm living my life. I could die tomorrow. Well, the problem is they probably won't die tomorrow. And if something happens in the economy and their 200,000 dips to 150 or their 150 dips to 125, it is game over for them at the moment.
Yeah.
But you can have fun living on a budget. You can have fun with a very tight budget at Walmart for your groceries every week. Like, you can still have fun with that kind of stuff.
You can. I mean, but being a baller in a budget is not ideal.
I mean, when our budget was $40 a week going to Walmart, Heather and I told you, I would lose my mind if we spent more than $40. Ramen noodles. But looking back, that's the stuff I remember. I don't remember having the Lexus, 480. Yeah. I remember going and fighting at the register on why we spent $42 instead of $40. and what we put back.
Yeah. I mean, I lived that life for, a long time.
You were never in major debt.
Not in bad debt, no.
Were you ever in debt that you couldn't pay your bills?
No.
Okay. We were. We didn't know how to pay our bills. Like, that is a sucky situation.
I understand that, but like, you act like I've never struggled. Like, I've struggled.
You really haven't.
How have I not? How have I not?
Oh, when you had 10 vacant rentals. Oh, poor Meg. But you did a better job at it than I did. Why did I do such a bad job?
I'm not saying you did a bad job, but you're also, you're taking away what I was able to do. Like, I did not have, things handed to me as a kid.
No.
I literally started working. I can't even tell you how old
You
I
did
was.
learn how to work hard, and you did learn how to save, though, from your family, right? Would you say those two things?
I would say, yeah, 100%. Because I remember being like 5 and 6 years old and going to work with my dad, and him giving me like a penny for every screw I hit, when he was finishing drywall, or whatever. But like, I also remember at 9, like, my mom literally handing me $1 and being like, "That's your lunch money," because that's all she had. Because we lived off my mom's income. Like, my dad didn't support us.
He saved it all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, my dad didn't really, he wasn't around. But then when I was 13, that's when I really started working. Like, I started painting houses. I did yard work.
How'd you get those jobs?
Primarily through my family.
Like who?
Well, my grandfather had the drywall business, and my dad did the drywall business. And so I would
Did they both find you jobs too, somehow?
Well, yeah. So what I would do is I would go and do drywall with them, and then I would, simply ask the owner, like, "Do you have anyone lined up to paint this?" And a lot of times they said no, and I said I'll stay and paint it. And I got a lot of work that way of them going there doing the drywall.
How did you do in the early years of your painting? I want to know.
Like, profitability?
No. How good was the quality?
I was good.
Was there like paint on the ceiling?
I was probably a better painter then than I am now, because then I was doing it every day, and now, like, I haven't picked up a paintbrush in a while.
You haven't picked up a paintbrush in a while?
Well, I mean, not on a daily basis.
I cleaned the toilet yesterday. A bad one.
At your own house?
No.
What house? Oh, at the group home?
At the group home. It was a common area one, so someone had an explosion, and I had to take care of it.
Yeah, I would not do that.
Sure enough, right when I got all done, the cleaning lady came in and had already known it was an issue. And I just got done doing it all, my hands and knees and everything. I washed up, I disinfected, I did everything I was supposed to do based on the regulations. So
that's good.
But it was a common area. It wasn't anyone's room. It was just the common area. So it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
It was not me.
No, thank you. That's all you. You can keep doing that. But like I was starting to say, I was doing that at 13. I was doing that at 14. At 15, I was still painting, but then I went out and got a job at Rillo's too. And I worked at Rillo's.
As what?
At that point in time, I bussed tables.
Oh, wow.
At 15. And so I, did all my sports. I went to school. I did all my homework. And I still worked multiple jobs.
That's hard.
And I did that, throughout.
I don't know how Olivia is going to do summer, which is summer so short, with all the stuff she's doing athletic-wise, like weightlifting, with everything you do in today's world. I don't know how work fits into that. It's hard.
It is. It's very hard, and it comes down to time management, and it's like this. I have an hour to get my homework done, so I gotta focus and get my homework done within that time period. And it's also self-motivation and drive, because it's like, I have to do this because I'm also responsible for X, Y, and Z. And my parents told me, like, if I wanted a car, I bought it myself.
Yeah.
So I bought my first car by myself. I paid.
Do you think that's the right way to teach your kid?
Yeah.
Okay.
I paid for the gas, I paid for the insurance, anything that I wanted.
You don't think you should buy your kid the first car?
No.
Wow, you're tough.
I mean, if you are super financially set.
Okay,
fine.
so my dad wasn't financially set, but he bought me my first car. It didn't spoil me.
You don't think?
He bought me a Porsche. We shared it. My friend blew it up, but we shared it.
Why would you even want that? Why would you want a shared car? Like you would have to ask permission every single time you would want to go do something. Getting a car is about establishing your freedom. That you can go out and do something.
I had freedom. My parents were very open and flexible. There wasn't really a schedule. We lived on a farm. You know, I didn't go a lot of places. A lot of friends came to me. We hung out on the farm, or I went down the street. We hung out with friends in our neighborhood. I had a lot of fun doing that. Played football all the time, rode bikes all the time.
Yeah.
But we shared the car because I wanted a Porsche, and that's how my dad could kind of justify it. Till my friend blew it up.
How did your friend blow it?
We had a party at my house one time. My parents were out of town. And my friend, Sean Liberator, was there. And I think they were all drinking pretty heavily. And he literally took the car out because they got in the car, took it around the block and redlined it and blew it up.
Oh my gosh.
Blew it up. Never paid me back. I don't even know if he ever said he was sorry.
Oh my God. And you're still friends with him to this day.
I am. Don't put that on this. Don't put that out there.
Oh man.
And then when I was in college, my dad bought me a Corvette because I told him I was going to buy a motorcycle. So he bought me a Corvette.
Okay, so your dad bought you a Porsche, and then for your first car, and then your second car he bought you a Corvette.
Yeah.
And you don't think that's a little spoiled?
He had payments on it. He didn't pay cash for it. I do looking back.
But he took that responsibility.
Yes,
to pay
he was. That or I was a good salesman.
I bought my first car when I was 15 years old, and I used that same exact car until I was 26, 27.
Really?
Somewhere around in there. Whenever I moved back from California is when because that car didn't make it back from California.
So I wrestled at Penn State, and he got it for me the one year, so I took it. I think I even drove it to like the camps and stuff, like in Wildwood, New Jersey. So I showed up in this Corvette. And then the next car I ended up buying was another Corvette. When I was out of college living at home, I bought another Corvette with payments. Oh. And then I met Heather, and then I told her I was building this house, and I was driving this Corvette. And the second we started dating, I got rid of that Corvette, and then I sold the house, and
she stuck with you. So
and I never bought another one really since.
No, you bought a Corvette.
I bought one last year.
Yeah.
I bought one last year, but we flipped that. So.
Yeah.
But
now you're thinking about buying another one.
I'm thinking about buying another one.
Prices
are going down again. So.
I think you should.
I have one more question here. Oh my God! Listen. You have no idea how hard something is. So, I don't know how our toilet seat broke at our house. Like cracked in half. I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. It's in our master bedroom. Heather went and bought a new one. I said, "Did you buy a wood one?" She said, "No, I bought a white one." Well, I said, "Is it plastic?" She said, "No, it's just like what we had." I said, "Well, we had a wood toilet seat. Just because it's white, it's wood, right?" So she's back there working on the bathroom, and she's yelling, so she can't do it. So I come back there, and I'm yelling that I've got to help. Like, I don't like doing anything anymore, anything that's different. So sure enough, we didn't have a wrench. So I said, go get a blue-handled, what are they called? Blue-handled wrench. What are they called, Meg?
The pliers?
Pliers. Blue adjustable pliers. What are they called? Are they pliers? Anyone know what they're called?
The crescent wrench? That's like... Vice grip?
No.
No, that's got the lock.
Blue adjustable pliers.
Oh, aren't they? Don't they have isn't it like a teeth thing? Isn't
channel locks?
Oh, okay.
Meg, you obviously don't know much about construction. If you don't know what a channel lock is,
I know what it is.
I've been out of construction for 10 years.
Oh, good.
Do you own a pair of channel locks,
I
Meg?
do actually.
Okay, you own a pair, but you didn't know they were channel locks.
No.
Okay. So I said, Heather, go get me a pair of channel locks out of the garage. So she gets it. We're back there. Of course, the trash can's still around there. Like, there's not a lot of room for me to lay. I had to lay down beside the toilet, like, to get in there. We're replacing the toilet seat.
This is in your master.
In my master.
Okay.
So there's a wall on one side and a full wall on the other. And I can't lay down and fit down there, okay? So, like, we get on the one side, and I'm holding it tight, and I'm trying to unscrew it, and she's got the Allen wrench in the top side. She already had the Allen wrench. That one kind of came out. It didn't take too long. Then we get to the other side, and every time I squeezed on the channel locks, she couldn't turn the bolt because the plastic thing that I was squeezing was crimping the bolt. But if I eased up enough to do it, it wouldn't hold it. So this thing was a pain in the ass. Okay, so then we finally get it apart. Then we wash the toilet, make sure it's real clean before we get the new toilet seat on. We get the new toilet seat on, get it apart, get it out of the bag, get it out of the box, out of the bag. And there was a little set of instructions about this big by this big. So you had to unfold it, and I laid it beside me, right, while I was figuring out how to do it. I was trying to do it not reading the instructions. You would think you wouldn't need to read instructions, but there's like 4 pieces in this toilet seat that have to go together to try to put it together. So I went to go look back at the instructions. Heather already took the box of instructions and went and threw it away. And I'm screaming at the top of my lungs for her to come back. And like, you have to help me finish the job. And she just took it all, threw it away. So she had to go to the trash can and look for this stuff. Then she said it wasn't there. I said it's about an inch piece of paper. Like, I need it back. So she brought it back. Double check. You slide this one thing in, the bolt slides in, and you put it in. And when you put it in, like, it wasn't leveling out. Like, the seat was still sitting up. Sure enough, I lay down beside the toilet, and I'm holding the bottom part, and she's screwing the top piece in, and together, in about 20, 25 minutes, we got this whole thing done. You would not think it would be that hard to change a toilet seat.
I'm impressed. I'm very impressed because I thought you would have gave up and called Justin. I told Justin to do it.
If anyone needs a toilet seat changed, you should charge $100.
Minimum.
Yeah, a toilet seat.
Yeah, because what people don't realize is you have to schedule out time for them to go and do that. So that's like, okay, let's schedule 3 hours, let's say. They have to go to Lowe's, pick up the toilet seat, drive back to your house, mess around with the install. Yeah. Like,
So honestly,
it's a process.
How much does it cost to replace a toilet seat these days?
You really can't show up and do any job for anybody for less than $100.
Is it worth it to send someone there to Lowe's, get a toilet seat, show up and put it all in for $100?
For us, no. But for a handyman service,
really?
like a little handyman
really? He's
services,
driving a car?
I mean, maybe for a little handyman service. Like if we can do two of those jobs a day.
I think I would charge $250 to replace toilet seats.
For us, yeah, absolutely.
I can't even tell you what I would charge to replace an entire toilet. It would probably take me a day.
Yeah.
$40 an hour, about $480 to replace a toilet, plus the parts.
Yeah. I mean, the toilet itself anymore, is between $200 and $300 depending on what type.
To buy it.
To buy a toilet?
Do you know what I bought toilets for back when I was building houses?
You can still buy a toilet for like $99, but it's like a crap toilet.
I bought a toilet to go. Did you ever hear of those? All in one.
They're
toilet to go.
Probably $40, $50.
No, it was $100 to go. Back in the day, yeah.
Back in the day?
$90, $99. Toilet to go.
You can buy a toilet for $99 today, but it's a crap toilet. Like, I wouldn't want to sit on it.
Is that what you're putting in the flips?
No.
Oh, you put nicer stuff?
Yeah. Probably a $200 toilet is what I would put in the flips.
Good. So, yeah, the cost of things these days. If a toilet seat to replace it is $250, a toilet must be $1,000 these days.
Oh, that's dramatic.
Like, buy it, install it, the whole 9 yards? Come on.
Yeah, that's a little dramatic.
And dispose of the old one? Come on, it's a lot of work.
I get that, but $1,000.
Okay. If a toilet, depends on how much, $200 for the toilet, maybe $400, maybe $600, $700. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Didn't cost that a couple years ago.
Yeah, and then how do you think people can actually do that? You know what I mean? Like, people that can't do any type of handyman work around their house, and they have to pay out for everything, and they're already on a slim budget. How
so they just don't fix it, right? That's what they do. But imagine you say, I'll fix that, I'll replace that toilet for $200. Someone will chime in here, they'll do it for $200. But now imagine you get there, it's in a basement. Okay, do you see where I'm going with this? Have you changed a toilet that was having issues in a basement before?
No.
Meg, I'm a super contractor here. I've been doing this stuff for a long time.
Okay.
I went to change my mom's basement out. I don't know what kind of plumbing my dad did when he built this house, but the flange and, I took the toilet off, but the flange and everything was all screwed up. What do you do with a messed up flange on a toilet in a concrete basement? Do you jackhammer out the concrete around it? Do you rip up the floor? Like, you have no idea. You could not get this thing secure. There was nothing there to attach it to. I don't know what my dad did.
When did he do this?
I did this 15 years ago.
Oh.
Maybe 20 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't even know how I got it done. It was so, I mean, it turned into a 2-day project.
I'm sure.
But if there's nothing to secure it to, if the wood or the concrete, in this case concrete, was all all screwed up. They must have messed up laying the concrete. I had nothing to attach the bolts for, and now the flange that was rusted to the PVC going down was all messed up. How do you fix it? You're shit out of luck. If you're that contractor for $200, they came and said they would do it, they're packing their bags up and they're getting in the truck and they're leaving, and you're never going to see them again. They're going to say they're going to Home Depot to get something. You're not going to see them again.
I guarantee it.
Oh, look, he did a fountain on this part too.
That's nice.
That is going to be legit awesome.
So why aren't you doing that stuff? Like, why do you feel like you can't spend any money?
Because I built an assisted living.
But you're going to be 50 come December.
Yeah.
So at what point are you going to start feeling like you can live your life?
I'm just going to play this hit my house on the TV so I can feel like I have it. I mean, I'm doing some flying. What do you want me to do? I'm dabbling. I just signed up for my I forget what it's called. Is it ground? Ground school for air flights.
Good.
I did take a flight this week. I did 8 landings.
Good.
You want to tag along and see how my landings are?
Yeah, I will. I'll tag along. But I do want you to take Heather on an actual real date.
It's hard with these little kids, but
I'll watch them. What do you mean? You have an au pair. What do you mean it's hard? You literally have a live-in nanny.
These kids wear you out. Trust me, they wear you out, right?
I do want to take up a new hobby. You're probably going to make fun of me, so I probably shouldn't bring it up. But I do want to take on a new hobby.
Like what? Like what kind? What are you thinking?
I want to learn how to play the guitar.
That's cute.
Yeah. So my mom. All right, whatever.
Okay, keep going. Keep going.
So my mom is very musically inclined, and my brother John is also very musically inclined. I did not get that gene, like, whatsoever. And I remember growing up, like, my mom threw me in piano lessons, and it did not stick. She threw me in clarinet lessons, it did not stick. Like, all kinds of instruments.
Do you want to sing with it when you do it?
I mean, no, I definitely can't sing.
Just try right now.
No, okay. No, I am not a singer.
But no one wants to hear a guitar unless someone's singing with it.
Well, that's what other people are for. I'll sit there and play it, and other people can.
Who's gonna sing?
I mean, Lauren can sing. Lauren's a good singer.
She'll sing if you play guitar?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, and your wife can sing.
She does not sing.
But, like, I think it would be cool to, like, actually learn. Like, I've taken guitar lessons before, and it just went disastrous. And I've taken drum lessons before, and it would take.
Are you gonna get lessons? Is that what you have to do?
Yeah, but I was thinking about, like, going into, like, JW Music and actually get lessons.
What about skiing? I thought you'd be more adventurous, snowboard and skiing. Like
Okay,
you would.
I loved that stuff, but now I just don't want to get hurt. I don't want to risk it. It's not worth it. Your kickball game, I literally hurt my knee, and
you did.
Yeah, I went too hard.
You hurt a lot more than your knee. That picture back there is gonna live forever. Do you notice it every time you walk by, or no?
I try not to.
Do you glimpse at it once in a while?
Okay, but notice the year prior when I beat you.
Yeah.
I kept the scorecard and I put it in my office, and that was that. I didn't make a huge deal about it. This year you beat me, and now you're making, freaking mugs and hanging posters and making me little booklets and all kinds of stuff.
You still have
just
the
wait.
booklet?
I do. Okay. Sitting on my desk. So just wait till next year when I beat you, I will blow it up. I will not be, nice about it. I will throw it in your face.
Well, you better start budgeting for it now to pay for it. Wait till Christmas comes, Meg.
It actually fuels me. I wake up in the morning and my knee's like, oh man, it's not so great. And I'm like, nope, I got to push through because next year I got to beat Rob in kickball.
Well, you're a star player. Do you want to do a rematch, same teams?
No. I mean, actually, that's fine. We can use the same teams.
Ooh.
My team was winning the entire time. It wasn't until you decided to start cheating that you actually stood a chance.
Better reevaluate your team. You lost one of your players already.
That is true. But hey, I'm confident.
And one of your other players will be a year removed from sports again, so your wrestler, Steven.
What do you mean?
He was wrestling recently, so he's going to decline his athletic ability as he doesn't wrestle anymore.